Another beautiful day in my underground kingdom. He made stairs. He made stairs and also passed like another, 30, 40 days? Can't remember exactly what we were on last time, but... Is this as far as... What was the point in this? What exactly did we achieve by mining this out? We just have a staircase to... Oh, we can still use the mattock. We can keep going. Oh, fuck. This is a long-term project, then. We invested... Like, he's been doing this for a while in game time. Like, a while. And he's still not there. Okay, alright, fair enough. I guess we'll head back here at the end of today's session then to continue that project because I'm quite interested in it. But first, I wanted to try and work out what any of these pictures mean. This one, I think. Yeah, I think this one. I want to head back up to where the mushrooms are. There's other places to mine out up there, and I do wonder if they might be more like the crystals, where it's just like a thin wall that you mine through and you're in a new area, as opposed to this, which is, you know, a more sort of time-consuming process. So we might just be able to go up there and knock through a wall, possibly, while we're up there. It's also very possible that that is not the case, and we'll get up there and it'll be like, well, now I gotta mine for another, like, 8 weeks of in-game time or whatever. But it seems like, given that this game is on a somewhat strict timescale, I know, 400 days sounds like a very long time, but obviously time passes faster in it, and these projects take a while, especially this one in the house. I can't imagine all of them will take that sort of time, because that's just, it's like not feasible to do in a single playthrough, right? Unless that's the point, that it's meant to have replayability to that degree, but I don't know, it seems like this is the sort of game that not many people replay. Is that fair to say? Like, it's like a linear chain of events involving a lot of sort of arduous waiting and stuff. I can't imagine it has the most replayability in the world, which is fine. You know, I'm not after replayability. I have so many games in my Steam library that I played through once, absolutely adored, never touched again. Like, one of my favourite games, probably ever, I was going to say like the last 10 years, but probably ever, is Outer Wilds, which I still haven't played the DLC for. Remind me to do that at some point. I played through that game once. I don't really know what benefit there would be to playing through it again, aside from like trying a speed run of it or something. I suppose that is a possibility. It probably is quite a fun game to speed run, but yeah, I'm not one of these people who's like, a game has to be replayable in order to be good. Like, if a game is, even if it's a short experience, if I enjoyed that experience, then as far as I'm concerned, it's worth the money. You know, like, I think we need to stop expecting quite so much from our video games. I don't know, I guess, for me, being a child of the 90s or whatever, I grew up with games that were quite often no more than a couple hours, even shorter than that. I had games on my Sega Saturn that you could complete in like half an hour, probably, front to back, done. And yeah, okay, they were replayable to a degree, you know, you could go back and play through them again, but these games still cost like, like £40-50 at the time. So now when people are like, well, I don't know, that game only has 80 hours of playtime, and it's like, dude, I don't get. I think this sort of ties back into sort of my opinion on these large-scale projects, these huge open worlds. It's not the case for all of them, don't get me wrong, but like, I think 80 hours of playtime in a game is not actually 8 hours of playtime. 80, I should say. Hours of playtime, is it? On a game that scale, you know, on your Red Dead 2s, or your Far Cry 6s, or your GTA, GTA is a slight exception actually, but for most of these games, I think, you're not quote-unquote playing the whole time, right? A lot of it is travelling, ticking boxes, you know, sort of doing the necessary preparation for actually having fun with the game. And I think that's what gets me a lot about them, honestly. That's a lot of the turn off for me. Like, I would rather just have a game that is an eighth of that length and a non-stop thrill ride. Just take all the highlights and cram them together, you know. As I say, there's different strokes for different folks, right? I'm not judging people who like that sort of large-scale exploration game. I think the thing that gets me about it is just that they are so sort of ubiquitous in the AAA sphere at the moment that they are just completely inundated with them. You don't get many of these tied to linear experiences anymore. You get some, don't get me wrong, you get some. I think honestly it's a bit on the upswing at the moment. There has been a few recently that I've gone, oh okay, that actually looks pretty cool, you know. But on the whole, I guess there's, you know, the whole live service model as well, tying into it all as well, you know, the whole buy a battle pass for a single player game, buy XP boosters for your single player game so you don't have to play the single player game because the single player game isn't fun. You know what I mean? I wasn't expecting to get on my high horse about this today. I really wasn't. This wasn't something I expected to start ranting about when I started this conversation with myself, but here we are. This is where it's ended up again. Yeah. Well, just a bit of a bitter old man, really, aren't I? Let people like things, Joe. Ease off, eh? I don't know. I mean, I can find joy in those games from time to time. You know, I played through Elden Ring. Thought it was good. I mean, it was my game of the year. When was that? 2022? 2022, I think. Because I didn't do a game of the year list last year, did I? I didn't play enough games. I'm sort of playing all the games that I wanted to play in 2022 now. Like, I've just started playing through Dredge, I've played Lunacid, I've played Viewfinder, I've got another 2023 game that I will be playing tomorrow. It's, I'm sort of catching up on all the stuff I missed, and there were some good releases last year, man. I just didn't have time for them. I was such a busy boy last year, I really was. It's crazy. Don't know where the time goes. For some reason, I have my cursor over here and I just saw the climb prompt. I was like, is there something you can climb, like in the void over here? I just forgot how this game worked. It's because he was walking past here and he could have climbed up that. Just me being a silly. Just me being a silly Billy. There we are. And now I feel like now, here in, you know, March 2024, I might be finally almost ready to put together a Game of the Year 2023 list. I'm not gonna. What I might do is at the end of this year, assuming I actually, you know, bring my my Game of the Year list back, I bring that tradition back this year, and don't just sort of give up on it entirely. But if I do a 2024 list, I will probably tack 2023's list onto the end somewhere. Baldur's Gate is probably still Game of the Year. I really did enjoy Lunacid though. I don't know, it was a game that sort of... It did get wrapped up in its own mundanity occasionally. There was, you know, some sort of pointlessly convoluted mazes. The combat wasn't particularly fresh or exciting, you know. But there's just something about that sort of style of nostalgic game. That sort of... harkening back to a time... I mean, this is why I like Dark Souls a lot as well, right? Harkening back to a time before mini-maps and quest logs and, you know, where everything sort of had to be laid out and force-fed to you. Just a time when, you know, if you missed something in a game, fuck it, you missed it, you know? Maybe you'll find it next time you play through it. It's nice to sort of see a developer with that level of faith in a player, to actually trust players to, you know, be able to work things out for themselves. Because I mean, yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was specifically, but it's been in my head for a while. I really liked God of War 2018. I don't think it was my game of the year on 2018, but I think it was maybe my number 2. I really did enjoy that game. I thought the combat was absolutely incredible. I loved the environments. The story was compelling. Like it was a great title, genuinely. But there was a point in that game I distinctly remember where there was it was barely even a puzzle. You know, it's God of War. It wasn't like The Witness. You know, it wasn't the Talos Principle. It was God of War. It was, you know, push a block or hit a switch or something. You know, there was some minor puzzle I needed to work out, and within 20 seconds of me not solving it, the little kid, was he called Atreus? Is that his name? It literally just tells me the answer. He's like, "Oh, you should push that there and press that," and I was like, "Fuck you, man." part of the joy I get from playing the game is doing it myself. Is solving the puzzles. It's overcoming the challenges. Don't tell me the answer. Don't tell me the answer. I'm perfectly fine with games having, like, you know, an option to get a hint, or, you know, have an NPC somewhere you can talk to who's like, "Hey, this could help in this scenario," or something. You know, there's loads of ways you can do it to help people out who are struggling in games, and I'm all for that, because I've played my fair share of obtuse point-and-click adventures that I would never have solved ever without having to, like, Google the answers and stuff. So I'm all for games having an option to sort of jostle you along a bit, but don't fucking force it, and especially not so quickly, you know. Even if they aren't going to do that, they could have given me like 2 or 3 minutes to, like, prove I've been stuck on something before they start being like, "Hey, fucking idiot, this is the answer," you know. I don't know. As I say, that's in a game I liked, you know. I was all for that game, but even that did some fucking heinous shit, like. Okay, we have arrived at the entrance to the mushroom biome. I am taking back manual control. The shade is once more under my control. I planted some mushrooms in a specific spot. Last time? Time before, I think. I'm a little bit intrigued to see if that's done anything. I don't know, there was just a vibe about that area, right? The fact that there were green and purple mushrooms mixing in that zone. But there weren't any green and purple mushrooms on the floor. It made me feel like maybe I should, like, bring them together like Capulet and a Montague, you know? Star-crossed lovers combining in a specific location. I'm not expecting it to have done anything, but like, as I say again, I don't really know how deep the puzzles go in this one. Because generally the solutions to puzzles so far in this game have been wait, or do the one thing that you can do in this room, you know? They've not been, there's not really been puzzles per se. We'll see then. I like coming to this area because it has music. I think it would be nicer if more of this game... Like, I do appreciate the eerie silence, and it does make the areas that have the music feel more impactful. But I think it would be nice if there's a little bit more. Just a little bit more out there. Okay, there's my 2 mushrooms. They've grown next to each other. It's not done anything by the looks of it. But, I tried, man. I tried. What I can do over here is try mining here. As I say, I'll just give him a little bit of time. I'll give him a minute or so and see if he's like, "Hey, I'm making some progress. I think I might be about to break through," or something, you know. Realistically, I think it's more likely that we're going to have to sort of leave him at it for a bit. Hang on. Something has happened with those mushrooms. Am I crazy? The purple one is in the shape of a green one, and the green one's in the shape of a purple one, right? They've swapped. Huh. It does seem like he's making some progress with this mining, though, so I don't want to disrupt him. I don't know what we do with this knowledge, though. I mean, we could just pick them up and plant them again, but I don't know how that would benefit. I mean, it does look like we've cross-pollinated the seeds, right? I guess we could eat them. Eating them might help. Yeah, he's making some headway here. This wall's going down, like, every swing, like, the shape's deforming slightly, you can see, like, every time he swings, there's a little bit more happening. I don't know how far he's got to go. I mean, I'm hoping it's just going to be, like, here is going to be the cut-off, and he doesn't have to tunnel all the way to, like, here. Because if he does, that is obviously going to be a pretty serious time investment. But if he just like breaks through into a new zone in a few more swings, then fucking A. Wasn't expecting this to be quite so easy. I think I've been overestimating how long things take in general, to be honest with you. Because I mean, when I started digging out the house, I could already see the camera panning to the left when I logged off. I commented on it. So it probably only took an hour, less than that probably, to dig out that whole staircase he dug out. I mean, even so, that's not something we just want to sit and watch, right? But you know what I mean? It's not like these things take months. So maybe I should get into the habit of playing this game more regularly. I don't know. The thing is, I don't really want to be doing videos where all I do is hop into the game, start him mining a thing, and then hop out again. It's like, what is the point? That's going to be like a 3-minute video, you know what I mean? Again, it's not really a game perhaps built. Why have you stopped? Granted, I'm not getting much further here. What a disappointment. Oh, okay. Cool. So that was nothing, is what we got from that. I guess we ticked a box off, so that's good. Let's... Yo, this mushroom is starting to look weird. I better not touch it. Okay. He likes this one, though. Eat it. Shit. That was the green one we planted, right? We'll replant it, I guess. There's something here. There's absolutely something here. Trying my best to get my little brain around it, but it's a tough one. It's a struggle. There is absolutely something to those mushrooms, though. I don't know. Do we just leave that one to keep growing, do you think? Is it starting to look weird? I mean, that was the first one I planted, right? Is it starting to look weird because that's just the thing mushrooms do over time, and then they like die off and regrow or something? Is that just an age thing, or is it something to do with the fact that it's a dodgy mushroom? My specially bred mushroom. He was quite happy to eat the one that made him sick, but he didn't want to eat the one that quote unquote looked weird. So what's weird about it, I wonder? Well, while we're here. I don't know if I might just invest some time today. Make this perhaps a slightly longer video, maybe even split it in two. Could record a double bonus extravaganza here. And just try and mine out all these areas today. There's only like 4 of them, I think, right? And one of them has to lead to something. One of them has to have a purpose, surely. I know this is absolutely riveting gameplay, but I think if you've watched to episode, what, 9? 10 of The Longing, you should know what you're in for by now, right? You should have some concept of it. Look at him go. I need to roll a Dungeons and Dragons character. Incidentally. I know that's nothing to do with anything that we've been talking about today so far, but, you know, whatever. Change of pace, change of topic a little bit. I've played a lot of D&D in the past, but we're starting up a new campaign. And I need to decide what the hell I'm going to roll. The thing is, I played a lot. I played most, if not all, classes a little bit. So, like, coming up with a character that's like feels like something fresh and new and interesting is probably going to be a bit of a struggle. I might push to try a different game set. Because as much as I love, there's a mushroom behind me. That wasn't there before, was it? That's new. Where did that mushroom come from? Excuse me, good sir. I looked down at my phone. I was looking up fucking D&D wizards. I looked back up and there's a mushroom behind me. Did I just not see that before? Has that been there the whole time? Where did that mushroom come from? Is it like growing rapid? Am I imagining things? It seems to be getting bigger. Is it just like the lights being weird on it? It's one of the... Okay, now this is crass. Bear with me. It's a purple-shaped green mushroom again, isn't it? Did he poop it out? Did he poop out the mushroom? This is interesting though, because it means if we eat one of them and then another one like spawns behind us after a set amount of time, if that's how this works, that means we could get a mushroom to come out of this zone. We would have a means of bringing mushrooms beyond this upper limit of the area. If that's how it works, and this mushroom wasn't just here the whole time, but like it was like partially hidden by a wall before I mined it out or something. I'm not sure how far I've mined, honestly. It's hard to get a perspective of distance. It feels like the mushroom is getting further and further away from me, so I must be getting somewhere, right? I don't know what we do with a mushroom. Like, okay, we could bring it down to the house, have a little mushroom down there, a little mushroom friend. That's a thing we could do. I don't know what else we could do with it though. Like, plant it in the waterfall area or the mossy, swampy area, possibly. See if that does anything. There's definitely something with these mushrooms, right? There is something going on with how these mushrooms work, and I just need to... I guess I just need to try things. Bring it to the king. Get the king's blessing for the mushroom. I feel like we've been digging this one for quite a bit longer than the last one. Is that just me? Am I imagining things? I feel like we might be going somewhere this time. Oh. Granite again. Oh well, I'm collecting disappointments at least. Let's try this again. Let me experiment further. Eat it. We will eat the mysterious mushroom that grew behind us. I am right about the whole colour swapping thing, right? This isn't just something I imagined. I'm sure the purple ones were long and thin, and that one was like wide and fat. I can't actually remember what the green ones looked like before. I was assuming they were wide and fat and they'd swapped, but maybe I'm just being a dumb fuck. What am I picking up? Is the coal there? I guess there was coal there. Couldn't see that. It was invisible to me. Imperceptive to the naked eye. That could be a word. Don't you pretend it's not a word. It could very well be a word. Could be a great word. I'm just gonna... I was about to pick up my phone again and start looking up more Dungeons and Dragons stuff, but... I kind of want to keep my eyes peeled on this fucker right now. I want to see if he produces another mushroom. If we can endlessly cycle mushrooms through his body. It's an exciting concept, isn't it? Mushroom laundering, we'll call it. I know on the tabletop role-playing thing, I've been looking into the system created by the fine folks over at Critical Role. Daggerheart, it's in open... There's a... Hang on. You seeing that on the right? We found something cool. Yeah, Daggerheart, new system. It's cool. It sets itself apart from D&D quite nicely, I think. It does seem a little bit content light at the moment, but it is still in open beta. But it has some cool ideas. I like separating evasion and armor into two separate things. I like the fact that you roll a hope and a fear die every time you roll for a check, and whichever one's higher, either like if the hope die is higher, you get a little perk of your own, and if the fear die is higher, then the dungeon master gets something to use against you. It seems like a cool system. As I say, it sets itself apart. I think a lot of the other systems I've looked into in the past have either been too closely mimicking Dungeons and Dragons, or just completely like very, very much RP focused, right? Very much into the concept of just here's a loose structure to roleplay your world around, and they don't have a lot of like the sort of more, I wouldn't say number crunchy, but you know, the sort of more gamified elements that Dungeons and Dragons have. Which is why D&D has always seemed like the superior system to me, because I do just like, you know, I'm a coder for a living, man. I like to play with numbers, you know. I don't want it to essentially just turn into an amateur dramatics group. Like, as much as I like the role-playing stuff, I like the gamey stuff as well in it. So it's nice to have a system that is sort of ticking all the boxes. So I might try and push my group into playing that, but failing that, happy to play more D&D. I love D&D, man. I fucking love D&D. I'm unashamed to admit it. It's cool to admit it now, honestly. D&D's fashionable now, it's great. If I'd admitted I liked D&D back in high school, I would have got the shit kicked out of me, but now? Yeah, now it's cool. That's sort of one of the good comeuppances, if you like, of the internet age, of the social media age. It seems like a lot of like niche interests and, you know, nerdier, more obscure hobbies have hit the mainstream a bit more. They've become more popular. You know, obviously you can call it a downside if you like, but a big thing with social media is that everyone wants to stand out, everyone wants to be different, they want to have their own unique identity in a sea of literal billions of people, you know. So people are looking more into all these new unique hobbies and lifting them up and pushing them forward, and that has worked out really nicely, I think. A lot of things, you know, video gaming's another one, honestly. Obviously that was never like a niche hobby, at least not since like the 1970s, but it's cool that that's sort of become the biggest entertainment industry in the world. You know, it's become sort of the most popular pastime for so many people of sort of my generation, even a little older than me, right down to the little Gen Alphas, you know. It's just become like a commonplace thing as opposed to like a nerdy hobby, you know. It's cool. It's cool to see a lot of these things sort of open up to the general populace a bit more. Don't you fucking dare, my dude. This... Oh, thank fuck. I really thought for a second there he was going to be like, there's a seam of granite between me and the other side of this wall. But no, we found a thing. This is exciting. It's more mushrooms. Look, those are the purple ones. That's how purple ones normally look. The one I've got down there is like a weird bloated purple mushroom. You know, I didn't poop out another green one. Is this really nothing? There must be a way to get up there. Well, you tell me what the way to get up there is, bud. You tell me. That's upsetting. I feel like this might be something to do with the mushrooms. Right? Is that crazy? Like maybe we grow a big fat mushroom here and it creates stairs for us or something? Or maybe we eat a mushroom? What the fuck? Uh-huh. Oh, it's Friend. Friend came out of the well. It might not be Friend. I guess other spiders probably exist in this universe. Does that kid have a tail? Why does that kid have a tail? There's so much lore here. I guess the implication of this is that there is... What a strange and beautiful dream. I guess the implication is that... Where can I inspect mushroom? What the fuck? Oh, okay. I guess the implication is that that is a way out. That there is a well we can climb up through somewhere. Possibly in this direction. This is about the highest peak in the game at the moment, isn't it? If there's going to be a way out, you think it will be over here. I feel like there was one more direction I can mine. I've not gone down the route where the green mushrooms were growing originally, have I? There's a side path somewhere that I've missed. So we'll go mine that out as well. Get 4 for 4. And I think that's all of them. I can't remember what was to the left. You know where we had to push the boulder to climb up? There was some further left there. I don't know if maybe I missed something there, perhaps. But beyond that, I think that's basically everything. Yeah, I don't know if planting a green mushroom next to a purple mushroom makes the purple mushroom grow bigger. I don't know if that's what I'm supposed to take away from this. That's down to the mushroom place, isn't it? So that if I was to plant multiple green mushrooms by a purple mushroom, it would make it grow fucking huge. Does that make sense? I want to see the original green mushrooms in their natural habitat. See if they are wide and fat, and they did swap, or if it's just that the purple one specifically got bulbous when there was a green one next to it. No, see, yeah, they are. They are wider. So they did swap. Oh no, actually that one isn't. Why does this one look different? How mysterious. Yeah, I might continue my experimentation. My mushroom-based experimentation. By taking a green mushroom up to where I just planted that purple one. See if we can make that purple one grow weird as well. Or if it only happens in the sort of little mushroom biome place. I mean, it might not even have been the presence of the green mushroom that did it. It might have just been growing the purple mushroom in the mushroom biome place that made it more bulbous. I don't actually know. But I mean, it's been there for a while, right? I think we've now had 2 sort of elongated time skips since we planted that mushroom. So it's been like nearly 100 days probably that purple mushroom has been planted in the mushroom biome. So it's not like I feel like it's achieved everything it's going to achieve, right? It's not going to keep getting bigger unless maybe I interact with it in some way, i.e. plant more green mushrooms next to it. See, I'm talking sense. I'm putting forth a hypothesis, and I'm turning it into a full-on blown theorem. This is called science, you know? This is how science works. Albert Einstein, once upon a time, he was just planting mushrooms next to each other and seeing what happens, you know? That was his whole shtick. It's true. Look it up. Now, he worked in a patent office, didn't he? That's my random factoid I know about Albert Einstein, is that he worked in a patent office. I don't know if he patented any of his own shit while he was there. Maybe he didn't come up with anything. Maybe he didn't come up with the theory of relativity, he just patented someone else's. This is mine now. They brought it in to patent it, and he was like, oh yeah, I'll do that for you. just put his own name down. I would never besmirch Albo like that. He's a legend among his people. Wacky scientist man with his tongue sticking out in the picture. He's very smart and very silly. We respect a man like that. Something tells me this one isn't going to pay off just because we can't see an exit. I feel like this one's just going to hit granite again, but what it will do is give us an extra disappointment. And a clear conscience, because we'll know that there's nothing else we could have done up here. We've exhausted all our methods of digging. Trying to think if there was anywhere else in the game that we could dig out, and I don't remember any specifically. It's possible there were more further down, like before the cobweb climb. Possible. Not necessarily the case, but it's possible. I think if you want to wrap up this video before an hour expires, though, we're going to have to start heading back after this. I will make a point to just move a few green mushrooms around before I do so, though. It looks oddly therapeutic. I'm sure it fucking knackers your arms, like, but just digging a tunnel, you know, just mining something out. I wouldn't trust myself to do it without causing a cave in or whatever. You're meant to like build supports and stuff when you're mining in real life, right? I think it'll be cool to do one of those, like, what are they called, like destruction rooms or whatever, though, you know, where you like go in with a sledgehammer and just fuck a place up. I think that could be fun. Not that I have unbridled simmering rage just beneath the surface or anything. I'm just saying. It would be fun to expel some energy in that way. Part of me, you know, the sort of eco nerd part of me, though, is like, we shouldn't just destroy stuff. We should reuse and, you know, recycle. There we go. I mean, I knew that was coming, but nice to get the hard confirmation, right? So, here's what I want to do. Here's what I want to do for the remainder of this video. Grab green mushroom. Do not eat green mushroom. Resist urge to eat green mushroom. Take green mushroom to purple mushroom. Plant. That's it. That's my science. We've had it happen once, now we need to reproduce the results. It's really annoying that we can't eat the bulbous fucker, though. It's like he doesn't want to touch it because it's gross and weird, but it's like, my dude, you eat weird mushrooms all the time. Just be a man about it. Down this way. Yeah, I want to plant one next to the already gross and weird mushroom, and one next to my freshly planted mushroom up at the top. Because this will confirm two things. Number one, it will confirm whether we can continue to make this mushroom grosser and weirder by bringing it new green friends. And number two, it will confirm whether we can make weird mushroom shit happen. Yeah, do that. Whether we can make weird mushroom shit happen anywhere but here specifically. So those green mushrooms up there are fucking huge, right? It has sort of hinted that bringing purple and green together makes big mushrooms. That's sort of what we can read into that background there. I wouldn't have picked up on that. I wouldn't have put those pieces together prior to this happening, but now that it has happened, I can see how the jigsaw fits together, you know? Fascinating stuff. They're interesting though to see that there is like people above the surface. I was expecting like it to be like some post-apocalyptic event or whatever, you know. I was expecting there to be nothing on the surface. But I mean, I guess that was only a dream. It's not confirmed canon, but it looks like there is like a race of little tailed creatures, human adjacent creatures living up there. and the entire civilization of the Shade is just like down their well. What was I saying this about before? I can't remember. Worlds though, man, they're very cool and have lots of cool things down them in video games, even though that isn't typically how worlds work in real life. It's very funny though. It's very funny how you can just have like this massive cave system, like a bandit hideout and entrance to a massive sewer system that is like 8 times the size of the town built above it, you know, just underneath every little village in in every video game. At some point I'm gonna push back against that. I'm gonna start a petition for realistic sewers for realistic video games. Your sewers will be tiny little tunnels that you probably can't easily get through. Maybe you could crawl through, you know? Not these massive open sprawling like gothic architecture sort of deals that you get in video games. And also, can we stop just going down there and killing rats as the first quest of every video game as well, please? That would be cool. I think we're done with that now. Yes, that's more of a RPG thing specifically, but honestly, I'm probably talking about a trope that's 20 years old at this point and doesn't really happen in video games anyway. The thing is, video game stories have become a lot more realistic, if you like. They've become a lot more sort of cinematic, a lot more movie style, which is cool. I'm all for that. I think there is room for sort of goofy games as well alongside that, ones that don't have such an emphasis on story, but it is nice to see like people taking the medium as like a serious narrative delivery device. Yeah, stuff like The Last of Us or whatever. These big budget games that are incredibly story focused. It's cool to see that is a thing that we're doing now. Can't plant here. I can only eat. I can plant. I mean, I guess that's might be close enough. I wanted to turn around and plant it in the other. Whatever, that's fine. Okay, what I'm gonna do now, because I'm so good, I'm so nice to you lovely people, and don't want this video to end up being the world's longest video ever. Can you go, please? Thank you. I'm gonna fast forward the run back, and I will speak to you for the wrap up at the end. Okay, we've landed. It is insane that it's like 15 minutes of real-ass human time to walk from there to here. It's such a fucking time investment. One of these is what it is. Speaking of, we're going to do another drawing now, I think. Get another one boxed off. We already have a mushroom drawing, so that's not something we can do to establish today. Can we draw a mattock? I'd love a drawing of a mattock. I don't know what this is, but it's mushroom adjacent and I kind of like it. Let's go. We're going to have so many drawings by the end of this. Although, to be fair, currently we are advancing like 30 days at a time. We don't have many videos. We've got like, what, 8, 9 videos left on this at this point? Unless we start doing extra ones. The ending could be closer in sight than I thought. I have to make extra sure that we get a doodle in every time now then. I don't know, it's such a time investment to walk all the way back down here every time, but like, if we don't log off here, then we're essentially just dividing the amount of time that's passing by a fifth. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense to come back down here each time, even if we do have to fast forward through the end of the video each time we do it. That's fine, I guess. That's fine. I would like to get all this dug out, though, so we're going to recommit him to mining. He doesn't get to read anymore. His reading days are over. He's a miner now. He's no longer a man of leisure. He has construction work to be doing. These stairs have to go somewhere. There must be an answer to what these stairs are for. You can't have stairs to nowhere. That's not acceptable. Now I straight up got up, I got myself a cup of tea, I ate half a bag of chocolate raisins. It's been great. Well, I've been waiting for this guy to trudge his way all the way back down to his little home. Very productive. Let me just real quick get another fire going. And I believe that about does it for the day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here for this super fun experience of planting some mushrooms and mining some holes out. The wall is getting harder on the left. I think I should start chipping to the right. Oh, is that why he stopped? Hang on. Wait. Okay. He stopped because he wanted to turn back on himself. I get it. Anyway, we'll leave him doing this. Next time we'll see what wonders we have beheld. Hopefully he'll have finished the project and we won't have to keep stopping like this, but we'll see. Either way, I'll see you for that. Bye.